So is Tencel safe, and what is it? Honestly, I've never dug into it. It has a trademarked name, and I don't like anything with a trademarked name. However, I've wanted to do a deep dive on it, and so let's talk about it. So Lyocell is the actual fabric, and it's commonly known as Tencel. This is a semi-synthetic fabric that's made from wood pulp, okay? This comes from a eucalyptus tree. It's very eco-friendly and sustainable, and you'll hear this over and over again. I know I'm gonna get some haters on this, but I don't really care about sustainability. Just because something is sustainable during its production does not mean it doesn't cause harm to humans and the environment. And that is a big distinction that I have always made, but I see a lot of people getting them confused. They're usually one and the same, first of all. There are very few examples, and this might be one of them, where something is sustainable, like actually good for the earth, but it's bad for humans. Like usually it's one and the same. What I care about is whether or not it causes harm to human health. So when it comes to any type of fabric, whether it's natural or synthetic, there are two ways that it can be harmful to us, okay? So number one, are the fibers going to be small enough to penetrate our cells, cause inflammation and cancer, right? Just like a microplastic. And two, are those microfibers or microplastics going to bring harmful additives in? We already know that microplastic fibers that come from textiles, those can be very harmful to our health. And we ingest them because we'll walk across a carpet, little particles will break off, we end up breathing it in, we sweat, there's heat, right? We may potentially be able to absorb those dermally, and maybe not the particles themselves, but the additives those particles have. So now let's talk about Lyocell. So number one, can the Lyocell fibers themselves turn into little microplastics and hurt our bodies? There was one study that literally compared the toxicity of polyester microfibers versus Lyocell versus viscose, okay? Guess what they found? So both of these semi-synthetic fabrics like viscose and Lyocell, both of those were more toxic than polyester, right? And it literally says from the study, while Lyocell is sometimes presented as a more environmentally friendly alternative to viscose due to its production processes, this was not evident. The toxicity of these materials is supported by their chemical similarity. Then I found another study and it found the same thing. The natural microfiber, Lyocell, was more toxic to the plankton than synthetic microfibers like polyester. Again, not sure what that would do to a human body, but like not a good sign, right? Okay, but now let's address the second point of potential toxicity. What toxic additives or dyes might be added to Lyocell? So we don't really know for sure. However, there's one thing that I do know for sure, and that is Tencel, whatever, is extremely flammable. I mean, this seems like obvious, right? It's like basically dried wood pulp, right? So of course it's going to be flammable. Therefore, lots of Lyocell is treated to make it not as flammable. That means they spray a crap ton of flame retardants on it to make it less flammable, okay? What's unclear is if all Lyocell is sprayed with tons of toxic flame retardants. Like we just don't know, right? It does look like there are seemingly safer types of flame resistant coatings out there, but I don't know enough about it and there's very little information on it out there. And even manufacturers might not know because they're just buying like bulk yarn and then having them made in the styles that they want, right? It is just unclear. So that being said, I don't know if I can trust Lyocell any more than I did before I did this whole deep dive, right? I probably wouldn't run out and buy it unless the manufacturers were very, very clear that it wasn't treated with like toxic flame retardants, right? And I wouldn't wear underwear made out of Lyocell. That's for sure.